Serious, what is the harshest truth you've ever learned? Being the hardest worker will not always equate to you being the one rewarded or recognized for accomplishments. You can do everything right, give something 100% effort, follow all the rules and still fail. When it comes to grief *, time does not heal all wounds, *. It dulls it, but one trigger and it floods back. I learned this after my dad and grandma died in 2015. Sad I know, but I resent the fact that people kept telling me I wouldn't feel it one day. I think we need to be honest about that so people know how to cope with grief in the right way and not hold out for a day when it won't be there lurking in the shadows. Edit. Oh my goodness. I just woke up and am completely taken aback by the amount of comments, support, empathy, love and understanding. I will do my best throughout the day to read every reply. Blackheart truly, thank you for the awards. And thank you especially for sharing your experiences, thoughts and meaningful quotes with me. Reddit is really something special, and so are all of you beautiful humans. That no matter how much you care for and value someone, they're never obligated to be the same to you. Especially friends. I am nowhere near as smart, nice, or likable as I thought I was to myself. That even thought people are hanging out with you doesn't mean that they always actually like you. I figured that out when I used to hang out with this girl and one day she just came up to me and told me that it's annoying how I always hung around her and the other girls and that I should probably just go away because a lot of the other girls didn't like me either. I had such a hard time trusting people after that. I didn't want to go to stuff like sleepovers or hang out after school with kids in high school even if they did invite me because I just had that voice in the back of my mind telling me, don't hang out with them, they're only inviting you to be polite. Just decline, they'll have more fun without you. Even if you treat someone really well and you both love each other, it doesn't always end like a Hollywood movie. Sometimes there are too many obstacles. Life is short. You grow up hearing this over and over again, but until you reach a certain age you don't have the perspective to fully grasp this. Doing your best and giving it your all doesn't always mean things will turn out the way you want. Sometimes things just go bad. Sometimes the nicest people just seem to get fucked over by the universe through no fault of their own. Edit. I know being nice can lead to you getting screwed over by people willing to take advantage of it, but I'm more referring to random happenstance like someone gets run over by a drunk driver, gets killed in a terrorist bombing attack, getting cancer, other diseases. That's more what I'm referring to. Sometimes you are the bad guy. Your life is actually comically short and it wasn't meant to feel long for your convenience. If you're 16 or older, you've started feeling that uncomfortable feeling that a year is much shorter than you thought. Nostalgia is a liar. That one day your parents, grandparents, people who always have been there for you etc. are going to be gone for the rest of your life. Nice people don't necessarily get treated very nicely. That the world doesn't wait for you to be okay. You just gotta learn to pick yourself up and get better. Life will never be fair. Nothing lasts forever. Edit. I didn't know this would get this many upvotes. Thank you. When someone dies you are never seeing them again. The day my partner died I fell into my bed at night and cried my absolute heart out knowing I would never hear her voice again and it destroyed me. My bedroom was so quiet, dull and hollow and I just felt hopeless. That was 6 years ago and I can vividly remember my surroundings and feelings from that moment. Life goes fast, like super fast after you turn 24. My stepdad told me that I'd blink and be 40. Well, I blinked and being 40 sucks. That even your best friend can turn into a stranger rather fast. Edit. Wow, thanks for the replies, awards a lot. It's nice to see I'm not the only one. I hope we all learn to move on, live with it. Stop worrying what others think. Most people are so caught up in themselves they barely know anyone else exists. Don't let your ego convince you that anyone gives a rat's ass about what you're doing. Of the few out there that do care, even fewer of them can do anything to either help or harm you. That you never know when the last time is until it is too late. Last time you hugged a friend. Last time you said, I love you. Last time your kid crawled in bed for cuddles. Last time your parents called to chat. Last time you had a great time with someone before. Even the last times you look forward to end up passing by, and mark the finality of time. I am not sure what the date was when I changed my last kid's diaper, but my babies aren't babies anymore. You can speak as many languages as you want, have multiple degrees and certificates and still be rejected at the simplest of jobs. No matter what you have or what you do, you will be essentially forgotten after a few generations. It's never a stranger who betrays you. ETA. Thank you for all the awards. Heart. I have a big nose. Didn't realize till someone told me at 17. No matter how talented you are at something, there will always be someone way better than you. Ultimately, you must stand alone and what your loved ones think about you doesn't matter. In the end, you are you and that is enough. Sucks if you're caught up in getting likes and reactions in social media. Without help, trauma never goes away properly. I know this is frowned on, but thank you for the awards. They are much appreciated and make me smile. However, if you were considering a paid award, please instead donate that money to either your local mental health aid or your local animal shelter, please. It can do so much good. Thank you all for your wonderful responses. We grow up thinking that the side of evil will be clearly defined, and the villains will be super obvious, mustache-twirling Lex Luthors, while the good guys are purely righteous supermen. Turns out, right and wrong is very challenging to define. I need to protect myself at all cost, not just the physical part of me but also the emotional and psychological part as well. From birth to death nobody has to spend more time with me than I do myself, so the only person's approval I need is of my own. Don't fall in love with potential. People judge us by our actions, not our intentions. This follows the saying, the path to hell is paved by good intentions. Not everyone is your friend. People can flip on you in a second and harm you, even those who you think truly cared for you. That most people are just assholes and will treat you with no respect, if they don't have to. Worked in retail long enough to not be surprised by any kind of shitty behavior anymore. It's the nice people that caught me off guard. People you put on pedestals will disappoint you. That you cannot force anyone to love you. That's the lesson I learned after my ex-stepdad removed me from visitation. Alongside my sisters, I would go to his house even after my mother and him divorced, as he was my father from I was 3 to 12, 9 years of being my father figure. He cut the chain faster than ever after gaining a second wife. My dad is a terrible person and I am not immune to it. I have to let go of him. I have to actually reject my own parent. He's a crippled alcoholic and I have to essentially abandon him anyways because he's also an awful person. It is the right thing, but it feels very wrong. No one is 100% in your corner. I'm not at all special. Sometimes you are the problem. Learned this one the hard way. My girlfriend and I split up and I realized that I was making the relationship toxic and I'm just now realizing the consequences of my actions. I miss her every day. My niece asked her mom why I had to move away for work and she told her it was because I didn't accomplish anything in life and had no choice. She relayed it back to me really casually, despite knowing that I come from an abusive childhood and being there when I wasn't allowed to do certain things in life. Edit. To avoid confusion. My sister-in-law double edit. The reason why she used me as an example was to demonstrate to my 9-year-old niece just how important it is that she works hard in school and works towards a career, otherwise she would end up like me. Don't take anything for granted. Things change so fast and life is really short. I remember having so many friends not that long ago, who are now strangers. It fucking sucks to be the poorest person in the room, but the pity is worse. Just motivation to work harder, I guess. That my mom is getting older. It's often not what you know, but who you know. Once I learned that, the workforce became a bleak shithole. You're the weirdest person out of most people and you won't even know it until someone tells you and it will shatter you. No person, thing, or event will ever make you truly happy. You need to be happy with yourself first, and then you can enjoy other elements of life to their fullest. I'm never going to be wealthy enough to retire. It doesn't matter how much you love someone, one day you will hurt them. And one day, they will hurt you. That life is just not fair. People will do bad things to you and not only get away with it but convince others that you're the problem. You may ask, where's the justice? There's no justice, there's the powerful and the powerless. Justice is a concept made to keep you and me from revolting. Bad things happen to good people. My husband and I lost our 11-year-old son to brain cancer. My daughter lost her twin brother. My mother lost her grandson. None of us, and definitely not him, deserved that. He was an amazing kid, so kind and thoughtful. And meanwhile there are assholes, bullies, and greedy people running amok. Somehow you dig deep and decide to be even better and continue to serve others, but it doesn't mean you won't get shit on again. Sometimes, despite widespread evidence, logical reasoning and common sense, there will always be people who would blame the victim and support the abusers. In a relationship, love is not enough. Regret over an important decision will cling to you for the rest of your life. It will pain you deeply and you will pray for a second chance that you know will never come. You know when you have regret because it hurts so uniquely and deeply that you feel like you are emotionally drowning day after day after day, for all the days you have left to live. 99% of the time, no one cares. It can be both comforting and harsh. No one cares about the things about yourself that make you anxious or self-conscious. But also, no one cares about what you like, what you believe, who you know, where you've been, etc. Everyone is just waiting for their turn to talk about what they like, what they believe, etc. It's normal though, just sucks sometimes. Find a person or people who do genuinely want to know about you and hold on to them forever. Just because she's your mother doesn't mean she will love you. You can die at any moment, any day of any number of thousands of reasons. Make every day count and live it like it's your last. Look back at your day. If you died and looked down at yourself, would you have done everything you wanted to? Someone close to me committed suicide. It's still hard for me to accept. Anything can be taken away from you at any time. It can be your sense of security, your purpose in life, your job, your significant other, your dreams, your bodily functions, your hope for the future, your idea of what life is or what it could be. It can all go away in an instant, with no logical or ethical reason why. We live in a stochastic universe. There may be patterns and there may be trends, but we will never truly know how things will turn out. It's the hardest thing to accept in life, but it's also the exact thing that makes life worth living. I spent years trying to be the perfect man for my crush. But being perfect for someone won't make them love you. Since a breakup of a long-term relationship, it's been the realization that I'm not as desirable as I thought I'd be, and the women I like seem to be out of my league. People would rather suffer pain and harm or inflict pain and harm than risk learning anything that would cause them to have to change what they like to believe is the truth. That it doesn't matter how hard you try to be a person that, at least some, people like, they still don't like you. I mean, I am now 20 years old, have seen 5 schools, have been on 3 sports, and I still don't have anyone that likes me enough to be my friend. That was a hard pill to swallow, but there is nothing that you can change about it. Edit. Thank you all for the positive comments and advices. I really appreciate it and it made my day. And I am definitely not gonna give up on my true self. You guys really gave me a great confidence boost. Thanks. Loving someone unconditionally and being willing to do anything for them doesn't mean that they will feel the same way about you. Chain pet stores don't actually give a shit about animals. Doing the right thing doesn't pay off. There are too many people in the world willing to lie or cheat that are competing with you for you to win by playing honest. I still always go the honest route because I don't know how people like that live with themselves, but I see that statement become more true every day as I get older. When there's enough people in a group, everyone becomes a statistic to their leaders. That we are very much like arrows launched into the sky. Good parents build the best bow they can, and hope their aim is true, and their arm is strong, knowing that if they shoot well, they will never be able to catch up to their offspring, but the world will progress, and the future will hopefully be brighter. Okay, parents, find whatever bow they can scrounge, try not to waver too much as they fire, and hope they didn't fuck it up. They weren't necessarily prepared, or aware, and most are just grateful the bow didn't break. Shitty parents never find a bow. They just walk outside and jab the arrow down in the mud, either not caring about what happens to it, or determined that it will never know it was supposed to soar in the first place. Most of your friends are only friends with you because it's convenient. There isn't a magic secret to life that someone is gonna tell you. You're just average. Credit cards are not always a great option. No matter how good you think you're doing, there's always someone better than you. This applies mostly to everything. There's always somebody better, stronger, wealthier, etc. We have to learn to stop comparing to other people and accept what we have and do the best we can. If somebody doesn't want to be helped, you can't help them. This one hurt with a suicidal brother. Pedophilia and human trafficking are way closer to you than you realize. You made a better person for someone else. That no one cares. I got out of the army and thought the world would give me everything because everyone supports the troops. Turns out, no one actually cares and only support the troops until it becomes inconvenient. I've been turned down for more jobs for my military service. Every organization, no matter how lauded, how aspirational, how trusted, is still at the end if the day comprised of very fallible humans. Thanks for watching. See you later.